2025 wasn't just a great year for anime, it was a battlefield. From god-level clashes to emotionally devastating duels, this year delivered fights that didn't just look good. They broke the internet, divided fandoms, and redefined what anime action can be. This list isn't about raw power alone. It's about animation quality, impact, emotion, and unforgettable moments. So whether you're a One Piece loyalist, a Demon Slayer diehard, or a Chainsaw Man chaos enjoyer, these are the top 10 best anime fights of 2025, ranked. And trust me, number 1 changed everything. Coming in at number 10, Sung Jin-woo versus Beru. And yeah, putting this fight this low already feels illegal. This wasn't just a battle, it was a statement. The moment Jin-woo stepped onto Jeju Island, you could feel the shift. No speeches, no hesitation, just aura. Beru wasn't some random enemy. This was a monster so powerful it wiped out elite hunters like they were NPCs. Fast, ruthless, arrogant. And then Jin-woo did what only he does best. He made fear switch sides. Every strike was clean, every summon was disrespectful. And that final moment, not just victory, domination. So why is it number 10? Because as insane as this fight was, 2025 somehow gave us battles that pushed even further. And if this is our number 10, yeah, you already know what kind of list this is. At number 9, Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus Goma. And the moment this transformation appeared, the internet collectively lost its mind. Because this wasn't just another power-up, this was nostalgia weaponized. Dragon Ball Daima pulled off the impossible. It brought back Super Saiyan 4, not as fan service, but as a statement. Goma wasn't some throwaway villain either. He pushed Goku into survival mode, raw, feral, instinct-driven. No flashy speeches, just hands. Every punch felt heavy, every movement felt primal. This wasn't god energy, this was pure Saiyan violence. So why is it only number 9? Because while the hype was unreal, 2025 gave us fights with deeper emotion and higher stakes. But make no mistake, seeing SSJ4 return like this? Yeah, that moment alone earned its spot. And from legendary nostalgia, we move into a fight almost no one saw coming. Coming in at number 8, Alicia Glenfall versus Drell. And if this fight flew under your radar, you weren't alone. Because Clevites didn't rely on hype, it relied on tension. This wasn't flashy, this wasn't loud. This was a fight where every movement felt like a mistake could mean death. Alicia wasn't overpowering Drell, she was surviving him. Reading patterns, timing strikes, fighting smart, not desperate. And Drell, calm, heavy, unforgiving, the kind of enemy that doesn't rush because he doesn't have to. What makes this fight special is the realism. No plot armor, no dramatic monologues, just skill, fear, and consequence. That's why it lands at number 8. Not the biggest fight of 2025, but one of the most grounded and intense. And trust me, from here on out, the scale only gets crazier. Coming in at number 7, Doma versus Shinobu. And this fight hits different when you know who these two really are. Doma isn't just a demon. He's smiling cruelty. A villain who laughs, jokes, and kills without ever feeling a thing. No rage, no hatred, just emptiness. Shinobu, on the other hand, fights with a smile too, but hers hides pain, loss, anger, a lifetime of waiting for this moment. She knows she can't overpower him. She knows she's physically weaker. And yet, she walks into the Infinity Castle anyway. Every movement from Shinobu feels calculated. Every strike feels personal, not reckless, resolved. This fight isn't about who's stronger. It's about who's willing to give everything to end it. That's why Doma versus Shinobu earns number 7. Not the flashiest battle of 2025, but one of the most character-driven and heartbreaking. And from here, the fights stop being personal and start becoming war. Coming in at number 6, Roronoa Zoro versus Rob Lucci. And this fight is all about presence. Zoro doesn't talk much. He doesn't need to. The moment he steps in, the tone changes, because this is a man who carries the weight of becoming the world's greatest swordsman. Rob Lucci is the opposite kind of threat. Cold, professional, built for killing. No speeches, no mercy, just efficiency. When these two clash, it's not chaos, it's discipline meeting brutality. Every swing from Zoro feels heavy, like a promise. Every move from Lucci feels surgical, like a machine doing its job. This isn't a fight about proving who's stronger. It's about standing your ground when the stakes are at their highest. That's why Zoro versus Lucci lands at number 6. Not the loudest fight of 2025, but one packed with aura, respect, and quiet intensity. And from here on, the battles stop being duels. They become decisions that change the world. Coming in at number 5, Zenitsu versus Kaigaku. And this fight is about what happens when two paths split completely. Kaigaku represents what Zenitsu could have become. Bitter, power-hungry, choosing shortcuts over honor. A swordsman who wanted strength, no matter the cost. Zenitsu, for once, there's no screaming, no panic, just focus. This is the moment Zenitsu grows up. Every step forward feels calm. Every strike feels final. When the lightning hits, it's not flashy, it's decisive. A single technique perfected, no hesitation. This fight isn't long, but it doesn't need to be, because its impact lands immediately. That's why Zenitsu versus Kaigaku takes number 5. Not because of spectacle, but because it delivers closure, growth, and respect in one clean strike. And from here, the fights stop being personal lessons and start becoming history-making moments. Coming in at number 4, Luffy and the crew versus Saint Saturn. And this wasn't just a fight, this was a reveal. Saturn doesn't arrive like a normal villain. He descends like a rule of the world itself. Calm, untouchable, watching everyone like insects. And for the first time in a long time, you can feel it. Even the strongest hesitate. Luffy doesn't. He never does. Because to him, gods, kings, and monsters all bleed the same. This battle isn't clean. It's chaotic. Powers clash, allies step in, and the rules of the world start breaking in real time. What makes this fight special isn't choreography, it's scale and consequence. The moment you realize the true enemies of the world are finally stepping into the light. That's why this moment earns number 4. Not a traditional duel, but a turning point that shook One Piece to its core. And if this is number 4, yeah, the top 3 are on another level entirely. Coming in at number 3, Monkey D. Luffy versus Admiral Kizaru. And this fight answers a question fans have been asking for years. What happens when freedom collides with absolute authority? Kizaru moves like light itself, effortless, detached, almost bored. A man who follows orders not because he believes in them, but because that's how the world works. Luffy is the opposite, unpredictable, loud, free, a force that refuses to move the way it's told. Gear 5 turns this battle into controlled chaos. Reality bends, physics stop mattering, and suddenly, the Admiral, who once felt untouchable, is forced to adapt. Every exchange feels playful on the surface, but underneath is tension, because this fight proves something huge. The gap is closing. That's why Luffy versus Kizaru takes number 3, not just for the animation, but for what it represents in the story. And now, we're entering the fights that define 2025. Coming in at number 2, Tanjiro and Giyu versus Akaza. And this fight hurts even before the first punch lands. Akaza isn't just a demon, he's obsession. Strength taken too far, frozen in time, unable to let go. Tanjiro feels everything. Every scream, every death, every memory. And Giyu stands beside him. Calm, steady, carrying his own silent guilt. This battle is relentless. Blades clash, fists break the air, and with every exchange, the emotions only get heavier. The animation is flawless, yes, but it's the backstory that breaks you. Because for the first time, the enemy isn't just defeated, he's understood. That's why this fight lands at number 2. A perfect mix of action, tragedy, and storytelling. And yet, as devastating as this was, one fight in 2025 stood above even this. Coming in at number 1, Denji versus Reze. And this wasn't just the best fight of 2025, it was the most devastating. Denji enters this battle wanting something simple. Love, connection, a normal life, things this world never lets him keep. Reze feels like hope, kind, warm, understanding. Until she isn't. When the fight begins, it's explosive. Bombs tear through the city, chainsaws scream, and bodies fly. But underneath all the chaos is something worse, betrayal. Every clash hurts because neither of them truly wants this. Denji fights with desperation, Reze fights with certainty, and that difference changes everything. The animation is movie-level insane, but what makes this fight unforgettable is the emotion behind every hit. No speeches, no hero's victory. Just two broken people doing what the world forced them to do. That's why Denji vs. Rez stands at number 1. Not because it was the biggest fight, but because it was the one that left the deepest scar. And if 2025 proved anything, it's that anime fights aren't just about who wins anymore. They're about what it costs. And that was our ranking of the top 10 best anime fights of 2025. From world-shaking battles to fights that broke us emotionally, this year proved one thing. Anime action has never been this deep. Now let's be honest. Someone's favorite fight didn't make number 1. So let me know in the comments, which anime fight of 2025 deserves the top spot? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because more ranked anime videos are coming soon. Until next time, stay sharp, stay watching, and respect good animation.